G'day guys and welcome back to Pins Down on the podcast, episode 32. On today's episode, I'll be reviewing the Miami Dolphins' first preseason game as we took on the Washington Commanders at Northwest Stadium. So let's get into it. I like to say that I think we found a quarterback in Malik Willis. What a first drive him and the offense sustained. I think he went about nearly 83 yards. I know Jalen Wright fumbled the kickoff return, so we started around the 15-yard line, I think. What a first look we had at Malik Willis. Looked composed, accurate, confident. A couple of nice scrambles, and he completed, I think it was 4 for 5 off his passing. The only one he was incomplete was to Caleb Douglas, who it was a nice throw. It was a throw outside the numbers, wide right, and he caught it. It was a nice catch, but he caught it out of bounds, Malik Willis, and he showed some good wheels. So it was a perfect drive led by Malik Willis, quarterback. So he looks very good start for the Malik Willis and the Miami offense. The offensive line did well. A-Chain had a couple of nice runs in the first drive as well. So all was pretty much perfect in the first drive. Caleb Douglas, our rookie receiver, he looks the part. Like, I know he kind of made a mistake with that first catch. He caught it out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds. His foot positioning should have been better. But that second catch was, holy moly, what a catch. The defender was all over him, grabbing him, and he still caught it with one hand. So it looks like good size about him, athletic. So I think he's going to have a good season with Caleb Douglas. I think he's going to be our number one top wide receiver this season. Yeah, so great first drive. That was it for. So after the first drive, most of our starters rested for the rest of the game. Where Quinn Ewers and the second string players on offense and defense finished the game, and this is when it went a bit downhill. I'm afraid we haven't got a lot of depth this season at the Miami Dolphins. Quinn Ewers, I don't know what's happened to him, but he's gone backwards. Like, he was terrible. I hate to say it, I hate to admit it, but doesn't look confident. He was inaccurate with his passing, missed a lot of open targets, doesn't look confident at the moment. Like the back end of last year, he looked confident, he was accurate. This game looked a bit shot. Quarterbacks don't work a lot with second string wide receivers or third string wide receivers. They also don't. Our second string offensive lineman, backup lineman, offensive lineman isn't that pretty bad, so he didn't have much to work with, but it still wasn't a good outing for Quinn Ewers. Cam Miller looked a little bit better, third string quarterback. He had a couple of nice passes that were dropped later into the game in the second half, so I'm not too worried about the second stringers. I was really impressed. I was really impressed with our first drive of the game with Malik Willis and our starters. So that was a great positive. That's probably the biggest positive and most important thing to take away from that game. Going to our defense. The defense was pretty good. Zach Sealer didn't play. He was rested. Jordan Brooks didn't play. I think Jordan Brooks got a little bit of injury at the moment, but he was rested. Willie Gay looked decent. I think he was one of our best defensive players in the game. He's got some wheels on him, Willie Gay. Made some nice tackles. He made a nice tackle on the Washington Commanders quarterback. He tried to scramble out right side, and he mowed him down. So Willie Gay, I thought, had a decent game. Cameron Good had a nice sack late in the second half. The experienced defender for defensive player for the Miami Dolphins. He had a good sack late in the game, and I thought Chris Johnson had a chance. He had a good break. He had a good chance for an interception in the first half, but he couldn't. He dropped it, but it was still a good pass breakup. So all in all, it was a decent outing. But like I said, we haven't got a lot of depth in this team. So we get a couple injuries to our big players, we're going to be in trouble. Anyway, the score was finished Miami Dolphins 7-20. We didn't score any points after that first drive. Moving on, our next preseason game is against the Giants at Hard Rock Stadium. So that'll be an interesting matchup. We go against Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo and neighbors. Odell Beckham is back there with the Giants, so it'll be interesting to see if any of them play. It'll be interesting to see if Malik Willis plays any game time against the Giants. So hopefully he does. He plays at least a quarter, maybe a bit longer this time. So, but we'll see. Just before I go, I'd like to let you guys know that I was on the Marvin Coop show once again for the second year running. They invited me back for his prediction for all 32 NFL teams. So it was him, Marvin Coop, he was the host. He's a Pittsburgh Steelers supporter. I was on with Jay Will. He's a Indianapolis Colts supporter, and I was on with Raider Ragu. He's a Las Vegas Raiders supporter, and all three guys were great guys. They're legends. It was a great show. So the show's called the Marvin Coop Show, or 2026-2027 NFL Prediction Show. It's on YouTube. Make sure you go check it out. Subscribe to all their channels. It's a long show, but it's very entertaining as we give all four of us gave our thoughts and our opinions and our predictions for all 32 NFL teams. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you next time. And as always, fins up.